Welcome back to our channel. Nicole stood motionless in the cold room of her house, a feeling of shock and numbness enveloping her entire body. When she saw the test results, her heart felt like it was being squeezed, her breathing became labored, and her mind was spinning with countless thoughts. Kat, the only daughter she had ever protected and loved unconditionally, was pregnant, but what was even more terrifying was that the father of the child was not Jacob, but Tomas. Nicole felt a deep betrayal just bursting inside her. Not a betrayal from an outsider, but a betrayal from the closest relationships, the ones she had placed absolute trust in. Every heartbeat seemed to ring in her head like an alarm drum, reminding her that everything she had thought was stable and safe was now shaking piece by piece. The shock left Nicole barely able to think clearly. She staggered across the room, her eyes following Kat, but inside she was filled with nothing but panic and extreme pain. While Nicole struggled with her feelings of betrayal and fear for her daughter's future, Kat was experiencing completely different emotions. Regret, anxiety, and a little bit of extreme stress continuously invaded Kat's mind. She knew that a huge secret had just been revealed, and that it would completely change her relationship with Nicole, as well as affect the lives of Jacob, Tomas, and everyone around her. Kat clearly felt the instability of her family, feeling like everything she knew about life and love suddenly disappeared, giving way to a chaotic world where every decision brought risk, pain, and loss. In Kat's mind, Jacob's image appears as a symbol of what she once longed to preserve, while Tomas represents the mistakes, the choices she cannot take back, making everything messy and out of control. Tomas, who Kat has just realized is the father of the baby, also experiences a wave of complicated emotions. Not only does he have to face the upcoming responsibility, but he also has to question the choices of the past, the moments that brought him and Kat to the current situation. Tomas realizes that every action and decision he makes, whether intentional or not, will have long-term consequences, not only for himself but also for those he loves, especially Kat and Nicole. Feelings of anxiety and regret intertwined, Tomas realizes that he has no way back. Everything now must be faced with the truth, no matter how painful it is. Tomas looked at Kat with a look of both compassion and tension, realizing that this situation was not only a test of personal feelings but also a turning point that could change the lives of the family and those around them. Nicole, with extreme pain and a feeling of losing control, began to think about how to handle this information. As a mother who always cared and worried about her daughter, she knew that protecting Kat in this complicated situation was no longer simple. She had to consider how to approach the situation without hurting Kat too much, while also facing the reality that Tomas, who had now become an important part of Kat's life, would appear in an unavoidable role. Nicole clearly felt that she could no longer hide the truth, because any attempt to hide it would only complicate things, leading to uncontrollable conflicts. The initial shock has now turned into a quiet determination, a strong will to face reality, find a way to protect their daughter and navigate the complexities of their relationship wisely. Meanwhile, Jacob, who once had Nicole's absolute trust, also experiences indescribable emotions. The truth about the baby leaves him stunned, feeling deceived and disoriented. Jacob realizes that all the plans and wishes for the future he once envisioned are now meaningless. His relationship with Kat is severely tested, causing Jacob to look back at everything that has happened and question his place in Kat's life. He understands that in order to continue to survive and maintain their feelings, everything needs to be looked at honestly and carefully, because any wrong step can lead to irreparable loss. The tension in Nicole's family does not stop at personal emotions. It spreads to all surrounding relationships, creating a series of complex and dramatic situations. Secrets and truths that have been hidden for a long time now begin to surface, making the atmosphere in the family heavy, tense, and unpredictable. Every action, every word can become a turning point, completely changing the situation and leading to unpredictable consequences. The relationship between Kat, Jacob, Tomas and Nicole now becomes fragile, full of risks and contains spiritual dangers, when each person has to position themselves in a complex emotional network, where love, responsibility, regret and forgiveness are all intertwined. Besides, the impact of this truth goes beyond the family, affecting friends, colleagues and related people. Every action, every decision must be carefully considered, because any move can worsen the situation or create new conflicts. Nicole realizes that keeping her cool and finding a way to handle the situation wisely is of utmost importance, not only for Kat's safety and well-being, but also for the wider family, where every relationship carries responsibilities and consequences that cannot be taken lightly. The truth about the baby is no longer a secret, but a pivotal point that shapes the future, a turning point that can completely change the lives of all involved. In the process of facing reality, Nicole also realizes something important: pain and disappointment are not the only things she needs to manage. She must learn to turn her feelings of fear and helplessness into a strength, a source of energy to guide Kat through the upcoming challenges, protect her from possible mistakes, and rebuild the relationship that has been shaken. Nicole begins to look at things more sharply, analyzing every aspect, from Tomas's behavior, Jacob's attitude, to how Kat reacts and feels. Every little detail has an important meaning, contributing to shaping how she will handle any complicated situation in the future. Kat, meanwhile, also begins to learn to face the consequences of the truth. She understands that avoiding or denying will only make things worse, causing more tension in her relationships with Nicole, Jacob, and Tomas. Kat must learn to accept responsibility, face her own choices, and find a way to adapt to the new reality. The feeling of regret and anxiety remains, but besides that, she gradually realizes the hidden strength inside, the ability to overcome difficulties and stand firm in the midst of emotional storms. This is an important turning point in Kat's growth process, when she has to learn to shape her own future and face the consequences of her own decisions. This complex situation creates a picture full of contradictions and emotions, where every human being has to face reality bravely. Shock, pain, regret, responsibility, and love intertwine, creating a dense emotional network, testing all limits of endurance, analytical ability, and decision-making. Nicole, Kat, Jacob, and Tomas must each find their own way to handle the situation, while maintaining the connection in the relationship, protecting the most important values, and finding a path to reconciliation, love, and forgiveness. These developments are not simply the story of a family troubled by secrets, but also reflect the universal challenges that anyone can face in life: truth, responsibility, love, and how we deal with mistakes, failures, and difficult choices. Every decision, every action can create lasting consequences, shape people's futures, and force them to become more mature, braver, and more understanding of themselves and those around them. In this context, Nicole and Kat are not just characters, but representatives of people who have to face the truth, learn to forgive, accept responsibility, and find light in the darkest moments. Each new episode is a turning point, a new story, a new secret waiting to be discovered. To not miss the dramatic, surprising, and emotional episodes of Kat, Nicole, Jacob, and Tomas, follow and subscribe to our channel today.